Do you want to see the coolest art and craft supplies for 2025? Well, look no further, because in this video, I'm going to take you through the 30 top art and craft supplies. And how do I know the top art and craft supplies for the year? Well, let me tell you, I've spent many a days looking at lots of art and craft supplies. I attended Toy Fair and Creativation, which is one of the biggest art and craft supplies trade shows in the US, and I met with lots of creative companies, and I spent so many hours touring their booths, and I was able to look at so many craft and art products that I was able to find out the best ones for this year for you. Let's start the countdown of the top 30 art and craft supplies. Coming in at number 30 was the DIY color deck from Spellbinder, and with this, it's a lot of beautiful colors, and I love colors. That's one of the things. And what they were having us do at the conference was make a color chart, a color deck. And I really love the colors I picked from this picture that I had. What do you guys think? Next up is Sarah Hurley, and she had 2 coloring books that were at the show, and I was able to get these, and I will be showing them to you throughout the year. I'll be demonstrating some of the supplies that we're going to see coming up, and I love her designs. I think they're so pretty. A couple of you have asked where to find them. I think one of them is on Amazon, and I'm not sure the other, so we'll have to double check with her where that book is, but I'm glad that you guys like these books. Next up at number 28, it comes from Faber-Castell. It is the Paint and Shake marker. This is the first acrylic marker to come from Faber-Castell, and acrylic markers are getting really popular really fast. And I will say, like, these are okay. These are not like top tier, like they have 3 lines, and I would say this is their mid-range. And so I think this is their attempt. I am a little disappointed that the packaging didn't come like all 15 together, that you have to get packs of 6, 6, and 3. I really would like to get it all together, but they have thin and thin tips, they have metallic, they have neon, and then they have just a regular pack. Coming in at number 27 was Pan Pastel, and I have only used these at the trade show, but they look really cool, and there are like over 50 colors, and you can see them on this chart right here, all the brand new colors that are coming this year. So they've really expanded their range, and you can pat these onto things with like a cotton ball, or I think they have a specialized tool that you can use to apply this to your paintings and your drawings, and I think these would be a lot of fun to use. Coming in at number 26 is the Neoart 6901, and these are wax oil pastels. So they have a soft pastel that is just oil based, and then they also have a Neoart, but these ones are set apart because they are super light fast, and they are artist grade, and you can see the history of a little bit of Carandache right here. They have the history on the back of that box, and then I'm just going to demonstrate them right here. Later you're going to see something from an artist, but this is just me laying them down. They're super pigmented. They're bi or monopigmented. That means that like they either have 1 or 2 pigments in them, so they're super pure is what they call it. Like they don't have a big mix to get the color. And this is some of the artwork that Sarah did. All these works are super saturated and super pigmented. And she demonstrated how to use a palette knife and blending liquid to get sharp lines, and also how to use the blending liquid to get pigmented areas where you didn't apply as much of the Neoart. So right here, she's going to show us how to get this line. So she's just softly using this liquid, and you can see she gets this super nice line. And this is the Gamsol that she used. And then she used this over on the other side to blend what was already laid down. Now at number 25 is this paint tray from Silverbrush. And I love this because I always have cups of water on my desk that spill over, and then I have to have this plate. And so if I have this, I only have to have one thing, and the likelihood that I'll spill it over is decoupled by having these rubber things on the bottom. So then that way it will stay on my desk and it won't get tipped over, and I can have everything all at once. Next up at number 24 is the Copic Acreo, and there are 24 colors, and these are brand new. I did a recreation of Van Gogh's Starry Night with them, and this artist is doing some amazing work right here. And I will tell you though, when I did the Starry Night, I did wish that there were more nib sizes, but I love the color palette. I feel like hopefully they'll expand the color palette and expand the nib sizes, but right now there's 24, and we're going to walk through all the different colors. She had them on display on this board. Look how pretty those are. It was a really fun product. Next up, in number 23, is the 3 Doodler, and they make 3D pens, and now they're expanding to 3D candy, and they have the chef and the candy, and one is for kids and one is for adults. And one of my favorite parts of using this is that you can use it with gingerbread houses, because our gingerbread houses are always falling apart, and you can put this on and it will dry like really quickly, and then you won't have to worry about your gingerbread houses falling apart. And that's a win in my book. Now at number 22 is the Pigment fine liners. So there were 36 last year and there's 24 new colors this year. So there's going to be 60 total. I'm not sure if you can buy the 24 by themselves. I would like that because I already bought the 36 and I don't want to have to buy more. And then there was some liquid that we saw just a minute ago, and you can use that liquid to take off or to move around the pigment. But if you just try to take it off with water, it won't move. And here are some of the beautiful creations made with these pigment liners. And the best thing about them is they're light fast. There's not a lot of markers that are light fast, and I'm glad this is improving and we're seeing the space really start to grow. No bleed through. It's amazing. Next up, at number 21, we have Dixon Ticonderoga, and they have this new velvet paper, and the differences are astounding. You can see the differences between the left and the right side.
It's a really fibrous surface, so you're able to get some really nice fine consistency, but then with heavier applications you can get a really smooth finish. The benefits of this paper are it has excellent layering capacity. So if you look at the two, this is the Canson Me Tints Velvet, this is the original Me Tints. So you can really see the difference in the vibrancy between the two. Some other benefits of the paper, as you can see here, the layering capacity. I was able to get 14 layers on this paper, and at that point you would be pushing around pigment, you'd be dealing with a lot of dust, but this paper really grips the pigment, and you can see how vibrant those final layers still are. It also makes for an excellent wet media paper. You can see there's no buckling of the surface. You can still feel the texture of the paper. This is an FW ink application, but it can also take acrylic and watercolor. The blendability of the paper is really good. So I've done some examples here. I've done blending with finger, blending with a cloth, blending with water, and blending with a dry brush. With the blendability, you can get really smooth transitions, seamless fades. It's really great for watercolor techniques. Using a solvent or water on this surface, typically with pastels, you would get a color shift, but you can see you don't get that with this paper. It also doesn't require a fixative, which is really attractive to artists because sometimes you can get a color shift when you apply a fixative. So it really grips the pigments. And then blending with a dry brush, you can see you can get a really soft, diffused effect. This paper also has really strong erasability. Red pigments are typically the harder to lift, and you can see even with a heavier stroke application, I'm able to lift a lot of that pigment off. And finally, the texture and tooth. So as I mentioned, you get a really fibrous surface, but it has a really fine consistency. So you're able to get really smooth applications with heavier applications, and then you can still pick up all those really nice fine textures of the paper with a lighter application.
Here are all the different colors that the paper comes in, and I would love to have this like in a sketchbook form to use, like a black one and some white or even some colored paper, just to have that difference. And it would be a lot of fun to try out, I think. And here is some more artwork that the artist did. Next up at number 20 is the Koi water brush. It has 48 colors and it's from Sakura. And I really love these. These are not new, but they were new to me this year. And I love any kind of water brush marker. I'm really digging those kind of things right now. And when you put it down, watch me as I put it down. So this is the blue. By themselves, they're really good markers. You could do calligraphy with these, whatever you wanted. But then when you put the water brush on there, look at what happens. It's just so pretty. You get this nice brush line, and the marker doesn't stay where it was, and that is really important also. And I just like them, and I'm going to review these this year, and I'm excited to use them in my work. Next up at number 19 is the CreArt Color by Number, and this is from Ravensburger. And the reason I love this is I love the canvases they're on, and they weren't super complicated, because a lot of the ones that are out there are super complicated, and I don't want to take a long time to do things. I just want to get things like that done in a day or two and not have to spend hours upon hours. So for me, wanting something like a lot less complicated but still pretty, I loved this line. The next up at number 18 is this Temp 2, and it is a stamper. So you stamp this on you, and then it will stay on your hands for a few days, and you can even color it in. And I think they should make a 13 so I could take this to Taylor Swift concerts, because I did one for the Taylor Swift concert and it was really bad. We were in the hotel room right beforehand, and it did not look this nice. So I really feel like it would be useful to have something like this, and then you could get ready for the concert in a matter of minutes. At number 17, we have Robotime. And these really caught my eye as I walked by their booth. And I love all the botanicals. You put these together, you display them wherever you're at. It'd be cool if there was some wood ones that you could paint yourself, but I will take these because they are just beautiful and magical, and they are some of my favorite things. I could really display, that bonsai tree at my house and just feel perfectly happy about it. And look at all these with the violets and the train here with the bonsai. At number 16, we have this botanical fiber art. And the really cool thing about this is that you put this on wherever you want to apply a patch, and then you stitch over that, and then you wash it off, and it even has some stickiness on the back. So I think this is really amazing. You don't have to draw anything on. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about your stitches not being perfect. At number 15, there were so many good things from Pentel, but the thing I chose out of this one this time was their eraser. And this eraser is rectangular. And I was like, I don't know if I loved it, but I tried it out and it was actually pretty good, and it was pretty stiff. And I think this would be useful if you're trying to get super fine eraser lines, and it will last for a long time, and you can see how much is left. At number 14, we have the Suminagashi Kit from Yasutomo.
In the box, you get all the materials that you need to do this Japanese water marbling project. You get the packaging, which also doubles as the water tray. You get 2 brushes, an ink bottle, 2 dishes, and washi paper to pull your prints. And so the practice is really fun and meditative. What you do is you fill your basin with water, and then you'll have one little saucer filled with ink and one with water, and you'll dip your brushes into those two and alternately drop in sumi ink and water to create these really cool like concentric circles, and then you could do different patterns as you go to create these really cool like Suminagashi marble Japanese water prints. And then you pick up your print with hosho paper, and every print is different. And you can use them for all kinds of pretties afterward. They're good for book binding, you can make gift tags, you can use them for cards. If you make a really big one, you can even use it for gift wrap. So it's a really stunning project, and it's a little taste of Japanese culture.
At number 13, from Make It Real, we have this bracelet maker. And when I saw this, I was amazed. I make bracelets, and you've heard about Taylor Swift concert before with the stamp. I also made bracelets. So I went to Toronto and I made 60 bracelets right before the show. This was Wednesday to Friday, and this would have been amazing to have at that time. And the reason I picked this one, there was another one, a bracelet maker that I saw at Toy Fair, but this one took the cake because you can put the letters on here. You can take that needle out and put whatever you want on the middle, and then you put it back on. You can change the colors. You do have to use their beads, but other than that, it's amazing. And so I would definitely recommend this if you're going to a concert. And they even had ones where you could do stones, and I love stones also, but it had a little rock tumbler there that you can make your own stones. So Make It Real wins in this area this year. Next up is Crayola. So this year they have their limited retired colors, and they sent me this box. I have a whole video on that already. And they have pencils, they have crayons, and they have markers and a coloring book and a crayon sharpener. And the reason that I really liked these crayons and markers and pencils is that this is the first time Crayola has done all the same color. They made their lines match, and I think they should do this with everything. This is the next level, and I feel like art supply companies, there's so many coming up that if they can do this, make all their supplies the same color, there's so many different ways you can use their supplies. And another really cool things about some of these are that they glow. And I'm a sucker for anything that glows because it's just so pretty. And even the crayons, the markers, they glow, and the pencils, well, because they're lead, would glow, right? And then this is the marker glowing right here. Number 11 is Slice, and these are super safe to use. They have a ceramic blade. I used it at the house. I wasn't able to stop at this booth long, but I definitely want to try these out more and try to get some of their other products. But I touched this blade and it didn't hurt at all. Like, I didn't get hurt. And then it went and it cut the paper. Look at this cutting the paper. It cuts it really good. So you could use this to open, packages, letters, whatever you want to use it for. You could use it and it'd be safe. I just love it. So I wish I had picked up a couple more because my son loved it too. And I'm like, I want one for me and then he can have one. So I might have to go find out where I can buy these so I can get a whole bunch for the house and try out some of their other ones. And number 10 is Nanoblock. And Nanoblock is a small construction material. And these two things right here are why it got number 10 on the list. I love bonsai trees this year. I feel like botanical is really a trend. Next up is number 9 is the Emott Ever line, and it has 40 colors. And these are the same people that make Posca. And I don't know if they match the Posca colors, but when I saw these, I didn't really look at them that much, and I grabbed one. I was like, okay, I'll look at this when I get home because it's so busy when you're at these things. And then when I tried it, I was amazed. I was like, this color is great. It's a fine liner. They come in lots of different colors. And I was like, okay, I'm really adding this to my Blick cart because that's where I get a lot of my art supplies. And I really want to try these out, like the whole line. And just, I love them. They come in a lot of colors. They're really pretty. At number 8, we have Lego. And Lego has really expanded another botanical item. This one was at Toy Fair. I couldn't take like a video of it because we couldn't have our phones in the booth actual part. But I really want to get this one and try it out and put it on my wall. It's so happy. And they've really expanded their art line and I'm loving it. And you can do dot art. Like, I love this Van Gogh piece right here. And then my favorite piece is coming up. My favorite piece is this Milky Way one. And I really want to get this one too. So I might, like, throughout the year, get the flowers and get the Milky Way. I saw this one in person at Sweet Sweet. And the details are amazing. What they use like, you can see some of those details in there. It's just so pretty. And number 7 is from Holbein. They've expanded their watercolors. And I told you how I loved, glow in the dark things before. So they have 12 new colors. And the really cool things about these colors are that they will glow under black light. So he's going to demonstrate this for us. We'll see these glowing under black light. So I really want to get my hands on these and do some artwork with them. Look at how pretty those are. I'm like, oh, those are so amazing. I love anything that glows. And Holbein, you did great this year. This is really cool. Number 6 is from Olo, and I love their markers, but that's not what got me this year. It's this marker paper. And why do I love this marker paper? It's because I've been looking for marker paper. I have some at my house. You can print on this. It's 8.5 by 11. It'll fit in a printer. A lot of them are like 9 inches and you have to cut them down. So I'm definitely going to get stacks of this paper and use them with all of my markers. And it's like not super light, but not super heavy. It's just a good in between, and it's smooth for markers and blending and everything that you want for markers. And number 5, we have a Sizzix tool. It's a registration press tool. And this is something that was made with the registration press tool. And you can have stamps with it. You can make cards. You can have different levels. You can have, You know, I think she has this on top of a, you know, a mat right here, but there's a lot of different ways that you can use this. She's putting on the stamp. And then what I love about this is she's using paint with stamping. And I love that because I don't love ink pads very much. They just don't always work. They run out of ink and everything. But look at this. She can stamp this on, and then if you're like, oh, there's not quite enough ink, you can put it down again. If there's not enough on the stamp, you can put more on there, and it comes at different levels. So this one definitely for me was up there, and I would love to try this one out. Coming in at number 4 is Zebra, and they have 6 new colors for their mild liners, which is amazing. They even have that dusty pink that is coming, and I have demonstrated all the colors, and then this is what it would look like in the store. I think there's 41 total colors now, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. Like, I love mild liners. I love making new colors with mild liners. I love using them in my planner everywhere. We have smoke red, mimosa yellow, mint, moss green, iris, and then dusty pink wasn't featured here. Now at number 3, we have Posca Brush. So Posca already has a brush marker, but this one is made of the same material as their bullet tip, and then the other brush is more like a brush, and it activates a different way. It activates by pushing a button on this one. This one activates by brushing it down and shaking it like a normal Posca marker. And so this one comes in 8 and 16 new colors, and I'm very excited for it. Part of the reasons I love brush markers is that you can get thin lines, but then you can also fill in large areas. Here is some of the artwork that was made with that brush marker, so you can see thick and thin lines and filled in areas. I'm gonna love this one. At number 2, we have 2 new colors from Posca. So I love new colors, so that's why this took the cake over the brush marker. We have grape green and forest green, and I'm gonna show you what the outside of the markers look like, but you'll have to wait till later in the year to see what the actual colors look like. Like, they're on the back of the box, but I won't activate them until I do a video around May on this exact box. Coming in at number 1 is Zebra Mild Liner, and they have a new product this year. It comes in 10 colors, and they have made a dot marker. So why do I love this dot marker? It's called pointillism, and you can make thin and thick dots with this. Look at that right here. And Christina is going to show us what she did with all these dot markers, and she used some of the other regular mild liners to do it too. But isn't this beautiful? I picked this for number 1 because I haven't seen anything like this before. This is new. I wonder if people are going to copy it. But look at the pointillism that she's doing with this octopus. It's amazing. And I could see so many masterpieces made with this. And now I'm going to do some booth awards. So at Creativation, Faber-Castell won for the best booth. And let's see why. These chairs and these pillows. I would stay there and sit there all day. And then look at these signs. They just did an amazing job. The number 1 booth coming up here is Lego. Lego took the cake on this one. This is like one of the most creative. It's all about the botanical, which is super hot right now. And I wanted to hang out here all day. Like, if I could, I would have just like sat here instead of gone around to the booth. So I could just be in Lego, like Nirvana, and like just enjoy it. They had Lego sets all around. They had things that look like glass. They had these fish. I was like, is that water? I'm like, duh. They want to have water inside of a toy fair, right? Because then it might get everywhere. But they just had beautiful pieces all around. They had benches to sit on. Look at this pond they created. I was like, this is magical. And then they had birds chirping. I wanted to be there all day. They even won an award for it. And that was it. So what do you guys think about all of these? Would you have chosen the ones I did, or would you have put them higher, lower? Let me know, and let me know which one you were most excited for. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.